Hi everyone, Jus4SweetZ here. Today I'm going to make a really yummy treat. I am one of those people that gets a really bad sweet tooth at night after I've eaten dinner, and usually before I go to bed, which is the absolute worst time to put food into your body, is right before you're going to lay down. Sometimes it's a craving I can shake, and sometimes it's not. I just got to find that little sweet treat to stick in my mouth. And so I've discovered that freezing bananas has helped me because I can dip them into some dark chocolate, or I can make these little smoothie things, and it really helps curb that sweet tooth of mine. I also am doing this because these are a really cute idea for you to do for Valentine's Day for a loved one. Some people don't like strawberries, and so this is a good alternative to chocolate covered strawberries. We're going to do chocolate covered frozen bananas. Now, I have cut bananas. I don't like to waste them, so as I know that they're getting really yellow, I usually stick them in the freezer so I can make my frosted treat at night. And so I cut these into chunks, and these are really frozen. You can see I can't push on them. These have been in the freezer for a couple days, but you could probably get them completely frozen in a couple hours. So I am going to make for you a few different ways of chocolate covered bananas, different varieties that you can dip, and then also how you can decorate. So let's go ahead and get started. I usually use a fondue fork, and then I use a butter knife. This is my tactic. I have some peanut butter because I'm going to show it to you with peanut butter because it's really scrumptious that way. I have some chopped walnuts that I'm going to put on top. Some really cute wrappers if you want to put them in a cute box and give them to somebody as a gift. I have these cute little sixlets, and I got a whole bag, like a giant bag of these at the dollar store. So these are really cute because they're all the Valentine's colors. And then I have a writing tube of icing. I also have a baggie, and I'm going to show you a little trick on how to decorate with some candy melts that have been melted in the microwave already. So we also can't forget the main ingredient, or one of the main ingredients, and that is our melted dark chocolate right here that's been melting for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and give that one really good stir because it's been melting, and I want to make sure everything's creamy and together. Now this is like an 80% dark chocolate, which is not as sugary. I have seen them up to, I mean, you can use bittersweet, but that's up to you. I'm not much into the bittersweet, but I get pretty close. Sometimes I buy the 90%. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead, and I have some parchment paper down, and I just kind of put it on the back of a cookie sheet so I had a little bit more leverage. You want to dip these while they are frozen. So I'm taking my fondue fork. If you have a better way to do this, more power to you. This is how I do it. Into the frozen banana, into the chocolate. This is very similar to the way I dip my cake pops. So it's pretty much the same idea. Then I just take my butter knife, let me get the one with chocolate, not the red, and kind of pop that off, and just kind of slide my finger underneath it and put it right there on the paper. Kind of back that up. So let's do that again. We're going to stick the fondue fork into the banana, twirl it around into the chocolate, shake off any excess chocolate that you can. The fact that these are frozen is going to help that chocolate set up a lot quicker because, like I've told you in the past, dark chocolate is harder to set up than white chocolate. But because they're frozen, you can see that they're already setting up. So I'm going to dip a couple more, and then I'm going to show you an alternative method that's going to make it even a better dessert and a better treat. All right, so there we go. All right, so let's go. Let's work our way onto this alternative method. I'm a peanut butter fanatic. I love peanut butter on a lot of things. I especially like peanut butter and chocolate together. So I also like peanut butter and bananas together. So I'm going to mix the three, and we're going to make a yummy treat out of it. So I have some creamy peanut butter here. Now you can use a reduced fat peanut butter, you can use almond butter, you can use whatever you want. I am using peanut butter. And because the bananas are frozen, I think we'll be okay just taking about a teaspoonful. This is pretty empty, so it's going to fall over on me. And I am going to place that right on top, a big chunk of peanut butter. Now, I kind of want to make it somewhat smooth because I'm trying to, you know, give these away or decorate them for people. Now, if they're just for you, you know, they don't have to be fancy, but I'm kind of just making it so that when you dip it into the, unless you do something like that, and then you mess it up. Okay, so just kind of flatten it out and put it down the right way, not to where it falls. Okay, to dip it, I'm going to go on the reverse side of the peanut butter. So let's go on this side and just kind of stick that fork in there. And you may want to stick the fork in there before you put the peanut butter on, because now I'm going to have to go through and redo this. But I am also going to kind of spread it out a little bit more along the banana, just so that you get a little bit more peanut butter on there. Just like so. So you've got a pretty good coverage of peanut butter over the banana. All right. Next thing is our regular dip. Now, if you're going to do this for people that have peanut allergies, you might want to use 2 different pots of chocolate. Either that, or you are going to want to dip all the ones without peanut butter first, then use the ones with peanut butter, and then after that you're going to have to clean out your dish pretty well, because if you ever make things for people that have peanut allergies, the last thing you want is a pot that's been exposed to peanut butter. So that one's dipped. Now if you want to, you can do a double dip on that, because it's got a little bit more rough edges, and then that will kind of smooth those edges out a little bit. So I'm just shaking it off. So I'm going to put those to the side, because I actually have a daughter that does not, my oldest daughter, she will not eat peanuts, any nuts at all. They give her a headache. Now she doesn't go into anaphylactic shock or anything, but they do kind of make her ill, so she stays away from nuts. All right, so I'm going to try this pre-poking the banana, which would be a lot easier. Go ahead and grab that peanut butter. Go over. See, that makes it much easier doing it on the fondue fork rather than the way I did it before. We all make mistakes. Got to live and learn, right? Okay, so we've got the peanut butter all spread out on the banana. Into the chocolate it goes. Shake that chocolate off. Kind of let it set up a little bit, and then do another dip, so that you get a double dip with the peanut butter. That way it smooths it out a little bit. Okay, then we're going to take our fork, or I'm sorry, not our fork, our knife, and kind of scoop that down. This is how I do it. So I'm going to finish dipping, let these all set up, and then I'm going to show you different ways that you can decorate. Now, one thing that you can do with the nuts, I'm going to dip one more here because I have the walnuts. And a much easier way to do this is to go ahead and dip your banana into the chocolate. And I'm going to do a double dip on that one. Shake that excess off. Go ahead and place it on the paper. And then if you just want to make it with different kinds of nuts, you can use pecans, almonds. You could even chop up some pistachios if you wanted to. Peanuts. And while the chocolate is still setting up, which it's setting up quick because these bananas are still frozen, just go ahead and press those chocolate pieces or those nuts right into the chocolate, and then it can set up just like that. So I just wanted to show you that. Let me dip this last one and we'll be back to do some decorating. Okay, so these are all set up now. They set up pretty quick right after I dipped them because they were frozen. I have my decorating icing that I stuck in the microwave for about 8 or 9 seconds with the star tip that comes with it on the tube. So I'm going to take actually one of the largest ones because it gives me a little bit more space. I'll take a shorter one here, and I'm going to actually try to create, if I can, just a small little like flower pattern. So we have like a flower on top of that one. Now these are solely for the purpose of Valentine's Day or a special holiday, anniversary or whatever. If I want to make these just to put them in my freezer so that I can snack on them at night, I'm obviously going to either keep them with just the peanut butter inside of them or maybe with the chopped nuts, but I'm not going to put all the fancy schmancy stuff on it. This is basically how you can make something special for somebody else. So if you really just want to make these for yourself as a treat, just skip the decorating altogether and go ahead and do the dipping with the peanut butter and the nuts and all that and make them as an extra snack or treat for yourself. But for Valentine's and anniversary and decorating purposes, we're going to go ahead and finish this part of it. So there you can see I kind of just did a swirling pattern, kind of trying to make it look like a flower. So that's what I did with the decorating icing. Another thing that you can do that is really, really simple I've ruined all my knives here. Let me get another one. I have the red melts, the candy melts that I melted in the microwave. So follow the, boy, I'm having a day. Follow the instructions and melt them the way that they tell you to. I do mine with a little bit of shortening in the microwave, 30-second intervals. So really what I'm going to do is first I'm going to wipe my hands because I've made a mess everywhere. You should see my towels over here. Okay. What I kind of do a lot of times just to make a really simple pattern is I kind of put some chocolate at the end of a knife, like a butter knife, and just kind of shake the excess off, and then I go over the top of it, back and forth, and it just kind of creates a really pretty, put that up a little bit so you can see. Let's come down a little bit. Trying to make this a little bit easier for you. It almost looks like a little truffle, doesn't it? So it's kind of fun. You can take these and put them on the end of like kebab sticks and make a bouquet of chocolate covered bananas and decorate them just the way you want to. I mean, you can do it like the one that's the flower back here and do a whole bouquet of those. You can interchange it with chocolate covered strawberries and chocolate covered bananas and just fill an entire, like, just go get a little a dish or pot at the dollar store. Fill it with either some marbles, or like they have those plant marbles that you can buy at the dollar store, or you can fill it with candy and make yourself a cute little bouquet out of these. People are going to appreciate this. Okay, so we have those three. Now, another idea that we can do is I have my melting chocolates that we just used, and I have my little baggie here. And I am going to make some hearts. Now, if you have some candy hearts that you bought, like the little confectioner's hearts for cupcakes and all that, feel free to use that. You don't have to do this. This is just what I want to do. I actually have some confectioner's lips that would be really super cute on these. I just don't have them out right now. So there's a million different things you can do. Okay, so what we're doing is I filled it, put all the chocolate into a corner, little tiny cut at the bottom. You just want to make sure that that chocolate's going to come out. So if you see that it's coming out, then you're good. Grab that banana. This one's going to go this way. So let's see what we could do. Let's just do a cute little heart. Just draw a heart on it. And the candy melt's set up fairly quick, so it's not like you have to worry too much about it dripping down like it just did. If by chance you get something that drips down like that, I'm really having filming issues today, and I sincerely apologize. I'm home with a sick little one, and I'm trying to film and get things done at the same time. So I apologize for all the trembling and the little issues I'm having. I'm not going to bleep them out because you know what? I'm human. This stuff happens. Okay, so there's one of your little hearts that we put on there. And if you didn't see that, I'm going to do one more for you because I noticed that the camera was kind of not in the right direction. So I'm going to take another one right here, and I'm going to turn it a different way because it's all in the shape of what the banana looks like. Okay, I think this one actually has peanut butter on it. So this one we can go... and we can do a double heart. Now what I do is sometimes I'll squeeze it on there, and if it's not exactly the way I want it, I'll kind of just take a toothpick, just like so, and spread it out. And then you can you gotta do it while it's wet though, and it dries super fast, because then you can get the look that you want. So on this one, I'm actually gonna do a double heart. Which will be fun. Of course, I can't see what the other side looks like, so I'm going to tilt it up just like this, get you closer to the camera here. If it's a little blurry, I apologize. Just kind of like spread these out and make them kind of like floating little hearts. You got to watch how far, see what happens because of the body heat. You got to watch how long you hold things like that because it will start to melt in your hand. So I'm actually going to combine my hearts right here. But I'm going to show you a trick. Even though you have some errors, I'm going to show you how to fix those. So there's our two cute little hearts on top of Not that they really look like hearts, but you get the idea. Okay. Now, for some of these two, I'm going to use my little sixlets that I told you about. And you can do one of two things. You can take the red and you can put like a cute star on top, just like so. And I just kind of push it down with my finger a little bit. And then, obviously, since we did the red, we don't want a red sixlet, so we'll use, I just dropped one, a pink one, and we're going to put that right in the center. Just like that. See how cute that is? Now on this one, we'll use red because I'm not going to use the writing icing. I'm going to use some chocolate. So I'm going to take my butter knife that has the chocolate on it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stir my chocolate. Do the same technique that I did with the red, and I'm going to kind of just go across it with some extra dark chocolate, and there goes my thing. And we are going to put a little red one right on top. And there you go. So the last thing that I would do to cure something like this heart, you have one of two options. I'm going to show you how to fix it first. I don't like it, personally. I liked it when I did one and then I messed it up. So I'm cutting that right off. Don't throw that away. That's peanut butter and chocolate together. You want to eat that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and re-dip the top of this banana. This is in case you make any mistakes. This is a good way to learn a lesson on how to fix it if you have a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead. I have a baggie. I don't suggest you heat these up very long because it is just a regular plastic baggie. If you want, discard this baggie, get a new one, and start the process all over. I'm going to see if I can do it this way though. I'm going to heat it up for about 5 or 6 seconds. And we need that chocolate to set up anyway. It's almost perfect. And then I'm going to put these on a nice little dish. Actually, I'm going to taste this. I'm going to show you. See the peanut butter that I cut off of there? Yum. Okay. So this one we've re-dipped. It's not quite set up. That's okay. I mean, I prefer you let it set up completely. But I'm going to go ahead and decorate it for you so we can get the show on the road. And I'm going to go back to just doing one single heart. And I'm going to leave it an empty heart, whereas the other one's all filled in. Last but not least, my favorite thing that I decorate with, which helps cover up so many mistakes sometimes, or it just makes things look a lot prettier. My edible glitter, aka disco dust. I take that and throw it across the counter. Let's get a little focus here. And this is where I just kind of shake a little bit on top. And it gives it that little extra bit of, I don't know, glamour, bling, pretty, fancy, so that it looks like you went to a store and bought these. And someone is truly going to appreciate them. So I'm going to put these on a white platter so you can see how pretty they look when they're not all around the messy chocolate. And we'll be right back. Okay, so I have them on a platter. I kind of just took my white candy melts and put little hearts on the platter. But I wanted you to see, I put them in cupcake wrappers. I wanted you to see how shimmery and pretty they are. Don't they look like candy? They look like you bought a box of chocolates. And you made these all on your own. And they're a lot healthier than a box of chocolates because they're frozen bananas. So wrap them up like this, like I said, or you can do a bouquet of them. But just get your little wrappers, as I throw them in here. Get your little wrappers at your craft store or Walmart or wherever. They're just the mini muffin size. Make your chocolate covered bananas. Leave them in the fridge or the freezer until you're ready to give them to that special person. You can serve them on a platter for a party, a gathering. Maybe you're going to have an intimate dinner for 2. And this is a great way to display them. Put them on a plate, have them in the freezer or the fridge, and have them ready to go for after dinner. You could write Happy Valentine's Day on the plate if you wanted to. Or if you want to take them to a teacher or someone as a gift, go ahead and get the boxes that they have at Michael's or the craft stores. And they actually make them during Valentine's Day, or they make them all year long. And they're just little boxes that you can put these in and make a little selection and just give them to someone and make it really extra special. These were super fun to make, even though I struggled through the process today. It's just an off day for me, so I truly apologize dropping things and not being set for some reason. Anyway, they're really fun to make, and they're a really yummy, nutritious snack as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give me a thumbs up, and like I